This past year has been extremely difficult on all of us. We have been confined to our houses and unable to go outside and enjoy. This got me thinking about my childhood, a time where I could enjoy the freedom of an open space. When I was going to school in Sri Lanka, I used to walk around 500 meters to the place where the school bus would normally pick me up. But I didn't have to walk alone at 6 in the morning. I had a friend. She would walk the lonely road with me till I got to the bus and then walk back home and wait for me to come home from school. I'm not talking about an actual human friend, but she felt like a friend. She was a stray cat named Chuti we had rescued on this rainy night and made her part of our family. She was black in color, wore white socks, and had beautiful green eyes, and easily the most kindest and lovable cat I've ever had. I was very fortunate to grow up in an environment with such a rich biodiversity, surrounded by so many animals, and I'm not just talking about cats and dogs. From a very young age, with my Buddhist background, I was taught about metta, meaning loving kindness to all living beings. I feel that this value was embedded in me by my family, and that it always came up, even through seeing a stray dog on the street and going up to it and petting it, even though as children we are not supposed to do that because it's not safe to do so. For the past 100,000 years, humans have dominated the earth. Our ancestors actually understood the importance of the services that animals provided, and they never hesitated to give them the respect that they deserved. In modern society, these values were neglected with so-called development. We consider ourselves to be the superior species, and we destroy everything in our path to get what we want. What we don't realize is that all of us are interconnected, and our actions in one way or another will have an effect on the animals around us, thereby having an effect on our futures. How do you feel when you hear news about forest fires burning thousands of live animals, or sea creatures choking on our waste? These animals are dying, going extinct, losing homes because of us. This is not fair. If we consider ourselves to be the intelligent species, then shouldn't we be intelligent enough to realize that we are the problem? And therefore we must take it upon ourselves to be the solution. Coming to a new country, I was shocked to see the changes in the urban environment around me. Lines of cows wandering the street where no grass is visible, so many dogs without proper owners or homes. As a 16-year-old, this dramatic change affected me in ways that I can't explain to this very day. From the sights I saw from my eyes and the countless stories I heard about how animals are being treated, made me angry and scared. I was wondering how a 16-year-old can contribute keeping a safe environment for these animals and helping them. Luckily, my school granted me with an opportunity to join other animal enthusiasts and together to do whatever we could to help the animals around us. Students for Animals gave me a voice within the school community to inspire others to join and together to create a group of individuals who can help these animals who are in need. It's a student-led club of the British School New Delhi that focuses on creating change at a large scale, bringing students of different backgrounds together. We're a group of students from all ages and different nationalities that share a common love for animals and want to do more to secure a future for them. The core foundation of the group divides into two parts: direct service and awareness. Over the 2 years I have been part of this initiative, we have helped handicapped dogs at a local animal shelter. We provided these animals with beds, blankets, food, medicine, and dog coats for the winter. There was this one time I remember that I visited the shelter to deliver some blankets that we had collected from a donation drive, and we wanted to take some pictures for the website we were about to launch. As soon as we entered the handicapped section, all the dogs started coming towards us, smiling and barking, and even dragging their 2 legs across the wet concrete floor because they had been paralyzed a few years back. One thing I noticed differently on this very day was a small puppy whom I had not seen before. As soon as I started to pet him, he started whining and coming closer and closer to me. Whenever I got up and walked away, he would follow me, dragging his 2 legs across the floor. This day taught me the importance of showing loving kindness to the animals around us and the impact it can have on them. I feel that even if we aren't always able to give materialistic items, it is those small gestures that matter and will have a larger impact on these animals. Over the pandemic, it has been extremely hard to carry out any donation drives or visit the shelter in any way. That is why, as a team, we focused on creating awareness among the school community to get more students involved, so that when the time comes, we will be prepared. We held guest lectures from professional activists and student-led presentations so that we could make use of this time to the best of our abilities. We focused on educating ourselves and learning more and passing this knowledge on to others. Even though our goals have remained quite small, I feel that it is these goals that will turn into larger targets in the future. We hope to continue Students for Animals as a legacy product of TBS and inspire more students to join, learn, and make a difference as adults. I would like to end this with a story from my childhood that I remember to this very day. When I was around 7 years old, I used to play out in the yard with my brother. By playing, I mostly mean getting covered in dirt and sand, but that's beside the point. There was this one time I had spotted an earthworm struggling on the dried sand on this very sunny day. I panicked and I screamed and I ran to my mom. We ended up pouring a bit of water on the earthworm so it could dig itself way back into the ground. I think that it is important to understand that no matter how scared you might be of an animal or how gross you might find it, a life is a life, and that day I was able to save a life. I'm sure that earthworm is thanking me in his own earthwormy way. According to the United Nations, over 1 million animal and plant species are threatened with extinction. This is more than ever before in human history. We have to understand how animals contribute to keeping a self-sustaining ecosystem, and that without them, we would simply cease to exist. We must envision a future where we no longer have to suffer the consequences of our past actions, one where animals are not taunted by our decisions, and one where humans and animals can live on this planet harmoniously. Projects such as Team Students for Animals will help us achieve a safer future for us and a safer future for animals, a future full of smiles and free of tears. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." If we want all living beings to be happy and healthy, then we must be the voice for them. Care for a suffering animal. Be a voice for a voiceless animal. Raise your voice to start convincing your peers to start showing loving kindness to all animals, not just your pets. Be conscious about your actions which cause climate change and loss of biodiversity. No action is a small action. If each one of us can help at least one animal in need, then all 8 billion of us can come together to create a safer future for us all. Thank you so much. Ayubowan. May all living beings live long.